Hello, everyone. My name is Lachlann. I write for Money Morning, and I'm also an analyst on Exponential Stock Investor. And today, it might be time to get hype because we're talking about a hype stock. It's IOUpay Ltd. Now, if you look at the chart here, that's a pretty wild takeoff. I'll be going through some charts, some announcements, and financial statements today. Hopefully, it gives you a bit more of a sense for the company and what they do, as well as their potential going forward. So I hope you stick with us as we go through this latest buy now, pay later sector stock. So what I'm going to do at the start is just take you through chronologically some of the announcements that have come out of this company. Now, this company has targeted the Southeast Asian market with the buy now, pay later product. It's got a market cap of 277 mil. At the time I shot this video, and you can see it's falling back a bit here. So what we're just going to do is go through some of these announcements. So it used to be called iCentric, and this was their quarterly from the 31st of July. So they announced a rebranding of core software platform and Malaysian subsidiary. So they're changing to the IOUpay platform there. And they also made some new board appointments. So this happens a lot with certain companies. They pivot their model. They decide to go after a new market. And this was all sort of underpinned by new board appointments. And then the next one you get out of the company is from the 31st of August, preliminary final report. They reduced their expenses. Revenue was down marginally for the year. And you know, it's a relatively decent result there for its revenue to be down 2%, given it was sort of pivoting its model. Now, fast forward to October 2020, and this is the flashy new investor presentation for their IOUpay product. Now, if you go back to the chart, in October, you can see a bit of movement starting to creep in here. So this is where things started to get interesting. So we'll just take a quick look at this investor presentation. Now, there's a fair bit to digest, but they put a fair bit of work into the presentation. And, you know, they covered that early rise in the share price there. And they're specifically targeting Malaysia, it looks like, and the Southeast Asian region more generally. It's a nice presentation, and it gives you a sense for the rebranding and I guess the e-commerce sector which they're going after. And what we also know about the ASEAN region, so that's the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. So one of the statistics that I've previously drawn your attention to there is that they actually have a huge amount of people going online for the first time. There's a lot of increase in online marketing activity. And the other thing to consider is that they also have a very rapidly growing middle class. So all of this seems to suit the, I guess, niche that IOUpay is trying to carve out. Now, if you fast forward to the 15th of December, you get an operational update, some strong numbers in there. And yeah, this looks like to be the key announcement that got the share price moving again, sort of late in December, but it wasn't enough for investors. So this was a key one. 19th January, they got a Malaysian money lending license, which is essential for their operations. So look back at the chart, January, it starts to move again. And then let's have a look at some of the more recent announcements that sent its share price flying. So you've got the December quarterly, which came out in 29 January. Now, this is where they sort of start to cement some of the key components of their BNPL platform. So the compliance with mandatory central bank and global credit card standards, that's important. But in any 4C, it's important to look at what's actually going on beneath the surface. So we'll just skip all of the, I guess, well, it's not blather, but it's less important than what's actually going on underneath the hood. So you see receipts from customers there of 2.165 million Australian. Now that's actually pretty good considering how early days this was for IOUpay. Product and manufacturing costs, so that's getting their BNPL platform up and running. Administration corporate costs, and then you can see they're going through about 834,000 in operating activities, which is actually not that bad. I'd say by now pay later standards. And they had cash of 9 mil. Now, if they were this, and this was the quarterly for the period ending 31 December. So at 31 December, which is this point, they had 9 million cash. At that rate, you know, that'd be a decent cash to market cap ratio. But let's dig into some of the more recent announcements that sent it flying. So IOUpay partners with Easy Store to provide buy now, pay later services. Now this is a sort of e-commerce oriented Southeast Asian move. You can see some of the more details there. Anyway, this was a big win, and that was on 9 February. So 9 February was about here, and that's when the share price started to move, and then it started to move in a really big way. They actually got on 15 February a sort of, these were referred to as speeding tickets. And it's an ASX price query because it was starting to move. Buy now, pay later stocks are, you know, they're incredibly volatile. They go up and down quite quickly, but the general trend has been for these buy now, pay laters to do quite well. So here's the big news, which is that the AFR actually covered, that's the Australian Financial Review, they actually covered IOU's hunt for a 40 mil cash injection. Now this was Street Talk, and that was 16 February. So you can look at the chart again here. That was around about there. And then they actually got the $50 million placement. Now this is a bit of education for you. So a placement, that means it's going to institutional investors, as opposed to a share purchase plan, which is for retail investors. Now they offered it at, let's see what the discount was here. So they offered it at 50 cents per share. That was a 28.57% discount to the closing price of 70 cents on 15 February. So they basically, I mean, this is just my view, but they sort of nailed the capital raise in terms of getting it at the highest point there. And then what frequently happens is that if a small cap goes to raise cash, they will frequently see a retracement in price down to around about where the discount was offered. So let's just take a look at the details here. So that's the terms of the capital raise or placement, and 50 mil it would give it a fair bit of room to grow, given its $277 million market cap. Now, not many people use cash to market cap ratio, but I actually do, and it's quite helpful to give you a sense of how much room a company can grow. And it also informs some of the share price action that you see play out. That's just my experience with small caps. So let's look at the IOU chart. Now, this is a pretty wild chart. So it went absolutely vertical in the space of 3 trading days there. Now, where would that sort of 50 cent discount fall? It would be just below this red bar. So it's possible that, this is all speculation, but it could potentially find some support around that 50 cent mark. what you could also do is insert a Fibonacci retracement. So the Fibonacci retracement, what you want to do is take in a low point and a high point. So all this sideways trading, you go a low point, then you go a high point. So it actually went as high as 85 cents there, 85.5 cents or so. So you then extend that out to here, and you'll see that 50 cent, around about the 50 cent mark, you get this 0.382 Fibonacci level. Now, I'm no technical analysis aficionado, but this is just one way you could look at the retracement from a massive breakout like IOUpay's experience. So that's about all I have to say about IOU. They now have that $50 million placement in place. Now, that will hopefully, for investors, see them expand into Southeast Asia more successfully. I've given you a sense for where it could retrace to. Now, it could also retrace to, say, the 0.5 fib level. Or you could even draw this Fibonacci level, or sorry, Fibonacci retracement from a different point. But the point remains is that small caps are incredibly volatile and risky, and it's important to manage risk. So on that topic, I've got two reports for you, which are both great resources. Now, one is a risk management report written by our chart guru, Murray Dawes, who runs the excellent Pivot Trader service. You can find that report in the video description below. I've also got another good report to you on 3 fintechs, features 3 different fintechs. So if you're into these buy now, pay later stocks, it's a great resource if you want to learn about 3 small cap fintechs that you might not have heard of before. And yeah, three companies are profiled in that. So definitely check out that report in the video description below. Also, just, you know, I'm trying to make as good content as possible here. So just be sure to subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. Mash that subscribe button. And also, if you want to comment, you know, by all means. Maybe I'm completely way off base here. Maybe you're IOUpay fanboy. Maybe you think it's rubbish, but you know, have a little chat amongst yourselves and let me know what kind of content you want to see going forward, and I'll look into doing that for you guys. So yeah, check out those 2 reports, and you can also find a link. Finally, one more thing, you can find a link to the article on IOUpay in the video description as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this look at this hyped company. I've managed to figure out the lighting, so I no longer look like I'm in witness protection, which is a win. And yeah, I hope you have a safe week and enjoy this period out of lockdown, and I'll speak to you soon. Thank you.